open. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention, your eyes are wide open, and you're coming to reckon with the reality that what's going on is not appropriate. It's not acceptable.
Yeah.
And this is not the type of relationship that you deserve. It's not the type of relationship that you desire. And so, again, if your relationship is in that space where there's constant tension and you're experiencing emotional, physical, mental, financial abuse, then there's a question mark as to whether or not your relationship is on the ropes. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you can continue in that space, which you probably have for an extended period of time up until this point, and you've managed to deal with, you managed to be, you managed to exist, and you've managed to be quote unquote okay in your eyes. But again, you're normalizing dysfunctional behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you come to the awareness that it's not okay, then that's when the problems start to arise. Because you're trying to go down a different path, recognizing that the way I'm being treated is not acceptable.
And I think too, we have to look at, some of what we've become accustomed to based on relationships that we saw when we were younger, or just what's the norm around us, whatever we think the norm is, because emotional and verbal abuse sometimes is harder for people to be able to clearly see. But when you have patterns of blaming, patterns of sarcasm and critical comments consistently over and over again, manipulative, disrespectful, undermining kinds of comments. This is a real indicator that there's not really, if you really look at it, there's not really space being made for you. And so what people will do is they dip out. Now, they may not dip out physically, but they dip out emotionally and mentally because they have to protect themselves. So whether you're receiving that or you are giving that, also raging, I'll just add that on, raging, R-A-G-I-N-G, raging, is really something where we as individuals really are not very well self-regulated. We don't have the ability to check our emotions, to see where we are. And so we need to discharge it and get it out. And what we tell parents a lot of times with young people is, kids usually do it in a safe place. Well, adults do that as well. They get rid of these negative, hard to deal with, stressful kinds of emotions in the place where they feel it's the safest. And a lot of times it's your partner. Mm-hmm. So now they're raging on you. But that happens persistently, where somebody has to be the object of your yelling, your name calling, your blaming, your manipulative, undermining, sarcastic, critical behavior and comments. Your relationship is on the ropes. If you ain't recognized, it's on the ropes. So we have to be mindful of what the emotional and the verbal abuse can look like. It is abuse. Mm-hmm. When you have to repeatedly deal with that. And so we just need to call it what it is.